Are you active in the transfer market? Are you hopeful of bringing in new players before the end of the window?
I think you're always active because you're always looking, you're always seeing if there's anything out there to help your group. But we're not desperate for anything. My job at the moment is to be focused on the games and to help the guys we have. We've got some good competition, some good players coming back from injury. So yeah, I don't see anything necessarily coming in, but you never know.
Can I just put one name into the mix, if I may? You'll have seen that Christian Eriksen has been linked with a move back to the Premier League. Is he a target for Brighton at all?
Oh, I've said before, it's not my place to speak about players that are not connected with the club. I don't think that's fair on anybody. So nothing to report, nothing to comment on. Sorry.
You've obviously had a really good season. You're on course for Brighton's best ever Premier League finish. What has pleased you most this season about your team, Graham?
Well, like I say, we've had it hasn't been perfect in terms of our issues, the same as everybody else, but we've managed to find a way. We've managed to recover from losing key players. At the start of the season, we lost Ben White. And that takes a reshuffle, I think, and a reorganisation because he was a important player for us at the back line. But we've managed to do that well with the guys that we have. I think we've shown resilience in terms of never giving up in games, which is evident with the amount of late goals we've had. I think our performances have carried on being consistent. I mean, last year, performance-wise, we weren't so dissimilar from what we are now. But obviously, results-wise, we've improved. And that's just a margin sometimes. It's just going through a process. It's about learning together as a group. But the boys, their attitude's been brilliant all season. And nice togetherness in the team. And we're looking forward to playing football.
You'll be looking forward to the game against Chelsea, relishing the game at the Amex. What did you take from the 1-1 draw, which was, of course, only a few weeks ago at Stamford Bridge?
Well, I mean, in terms of results, we took a point. We're really happy with our performance because, Chelsea are one of the best teams in the world. And they're so strong, they give you literally nothing and you have to earn everything you get there. I thought our performance was good, it was brave. We tried to be ourselves in a difficult environment. Like I said, against a well-organised, Thomas Tuchel's the top coach, organised the team fantastically well, great individual players. But we know it's one of the most difficult challenges you're going to get in the Premier League. So we're aware of that, but we're also really excited about that and looking forward to the game.
You mentioned the word brave. Do you feel your team has got braver with these big games against the top clubs?
Well, I think we've always had ambition in the games. We've always, if you look back over the 2.5 years, we've had results against Man City, against Liverpool, against Tottenham, against Arsenal, the big teams. So I think we've always had that. It's football, so and the reality of it is, if they play well and they have a good day, it's difficult for us. But we have to try to compete on the night. We have to do our best, try to be ourselves. If you can't win, then at least you're trying to improve and get better yourself. I think we've done that well. But it's another game, it's a different game, it's a new game. We have to start again and be respectful of our opponent, as always. They've done incredibly well, European champions, so great night for us at the Amex. Like I said, in front of our supporters, we'll have to just do our best.
What do you think Thomas Tuchel's main strengths are?
Well, I think he organises the team fantastically well. You see the impact he's had at Chelsea. They're competing for everything now. As I said before, they don't give you anything in terms of defensively so strong, and then can attack in lots of different ways. So as you expect from one of the best coaches in the world, he's good at everything in terms of how the team's organised, attack, defence, transition, set pieces. Everything is the highest level.
Thanks, Graham. Nice to talk to you. Good luck.
Cheers.
Thanks, Adam. Jez, if you want to go next.
Yeah, hi Graham, how are you doing?
Very well, Jez. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you. Just on yesterday's news about Rafa at Everton, I mean, what's your reaction and the fact that yet again you're being touted for another job in the Premier League. What would you say about Everton?
Well, the first thing is it's not nice when somebody loses their job. I only met Rafa when we played Everton, so I don't know him that well, but he came across as a real gentleman, and I obviously wish him well. I can't comment on speculation on things that are out there in the newspapers or wherever. I'm focused on my job here. Repeat, happy here, very happy here. I'm at in my opinion, one of the best run football clubs in the Premier League, with a fantastic owner, chairman, CEO, sports director, great people at the club, great, a nice environment to work in, an ambitious club. So, I just get on with my job here and do my best.
Must be kind of flattering, though, to be linked with every job that's going, practically, it seems, in the Premier League.
Well, no, not really. I mean, it's just, I suppose it's just the speculation, or people want to write something. The reality is, I'm like I said, at a really good football club that helped me. I'm not here because I'm that good. It's because I'm at a good club and I have good support. I have good people around me. I have people that can allow me to do my job, that give me support, that give me trust. These things are important. There's an organisation around the club. So the reality of it is, we're not as good as people think. We're probably not as bad as people think as well when things aren't going so well. And then you just can't help what people write or put out there.
So that's a no to Everton.
That's my answer, yeah.
Okay. You mentioned postponements, and obviously Spurs Arsenal was another big one this weekend. It's being suggested that some clubs are bending the rules about the postponement law and bending it and abusing it. I mean, what do you think, Graham?
Well, I have no idea. Just to be fair, I don't know what happens, what the situation is at different clubs. I can imagine it's very, very tricky for the Premier League to decide when a game should be on or off. I think they're doing it with the right intentions, which is to help the competition, to make sure it's fair, to help people through a pandemic, which is a once-in-a-lifetime situation. So it isn't easy to do the right thing, or for everybody to be happy. Health is the most important thing, but of course we're in a competitive situation. I'm sure people do try and they want to use it as well as they can for their own club. But at the same time, I can't think that anybody's doing it without the right intentions.
Just on the Chelsea game, Graham, is Tariq Lamptey fit to start in this one?
Yeah, he is. I mean, he had a problem last week. It was more precautionary, so that's why he didn't start against Crystal Palace. But he came on as a sub, and he's available for selection, yeah.
Obviously, it's a special match for him against his former club. Do you think Chelsea regret letting him go, seeing the way he's been blazing a trail with Brighton?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think Tariq's got huge respect for Chelsea as a club, that he's very appreciative of what they helped him with, what they provided for him. This is his first club. Sometimes these things happen. I mean, Chelsea have been very successful. They won the Champions League, so I don't think they've got anything to be regretful of. It's part of football, part of life, and I'm sure there's a lot of respect on both sides for Tariq now. He's trying his career, he's tried to play, he's done a brave thing in terms of leaving somewhere that he was safe, and credit to him for that. But also credit to Chelsea, they've got a fantastic model and they're also successful.
If you get a penalty against Chelsea, Graham, who takes it?
Well, I'm not going to tell you now. Nice try, though.
But any kind of thoughts about the penalty-taking situation after what happened against Palace?
These things happen, Jeremy. It's Pascal's very reliable. He's got a good record with us in terms of penalties. So it'll boil down to what we'll decide tomorrow. Whoever takes it, if we get one, I have full confidence in.
Thanks so much, Graham. Good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Graham, does the same apply for Danny Welbeck in terms of available to start, just like Tariq?
Yeah, he's available. He's in the squad. He's available for selection. I mean, Danny's he's gaining more and more time and minutes, which I think has been important for us and him. We're obviously really, really happy with him. He's come off the bench against Chelsea, scored. I think he did well against West Brom. The plan was to only play him for 60 minutes in that game, but because we lost Adele and we'd already made a substitution, I think it was we had to make 2 subs. So Danny came off a little bit earlier than planned, but it wasn't anything to do with his performance. Really happy with what he did. So he's available to start, yeah.
I mean, both him and Tarek have had, big injuries. There seems to be a lot. You've got Adam Lallana as well, Lewis. Do you think it's the workload for the players is something different this season, perhaps, with a lot of these hamstring and muscle injuries?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's no evidence in terms of that, I don't think, from a scheduling perspective. Danny had his from last season. Tarek's was last season. Lewis wasn't a muscle injury, it's his knee. So there's a sort of a variety of issues. Like anything, we need to try and improve and try and look at what we can do better. Sometimes it's part of football, sometimes it's part of life, and sometimes we need to do better ourselves. So it's part of a little bit of everything, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I meant all teams rather than just you specifically, to be honest. But Adam mentioned about Christian Eriksen. I mean, Coutinho going to Aston Villa, Eriksen being linked to Brentford. What do you make of some of the reports and the players that are actually moving, maybe to some of the clubs outside the top 6 now? Do you think things are changing in the Premier League?
Well, it's not something I don't pay too much attention to, Johnny, especially when it's just talk in the newspapers, because you just know that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be true. But I think how the Premier League is now is all the clubs, if they want to, they've got some huge resources in terms of comparison to other teams around Europe. So you can attract some really, really good players, or certainly with players with very, very impressive CVs. So I think that's always been there, certainly recently, and it's more and more. I think everyone's got the capacity to do it, and then the decision is whether it's the right thing for you and your club. It depends on your model, depends on your vision, depends on your strategy, and that's what I alluded to earlier. We've got all those things, so it doesn't matter what the others do. We know what we're trying to do, and we stick to that.
In terms of players, sorry, just parish notice. Jason Steele, how's his back, and is he available or is he still recuperating?
No, he's better, but he's still recuperating. So it'll be Kel tomorrow. Okay,
great. And just on Chelsea, how does it differ facing a team like Chelsea compared to maybe some of the other teams in the top 4, maybe a Man City, Liverpool, in terms of their style of play?
Yeah, I think everybody brings something a little bit different, as you touch on. Chelsea different to Liverpool, different to Man City. The thing is that what they do what they do very, very, very well, at a world class level. So they give you nothing in terms of how they're playing. They've been a back 3, but against Tottenham they went to a 4. So they've got that flexibility to play in a few positions. Depends how they see it, but always very, very strong in the both boxes. Set play is very, very good. Like I said, defensively, whichever they do, they're so hard to create chances against. And then attack, they've got various options. They could go with Lukaku as a main striker. They've got movement with Havertz or Tino Werner, and so there's lots of flexibility there.